guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I completed 15 books this month. I think it is an all-time record. I don't think I've completed this many books in a month. I think I've read like a good number, maybe like up to 10 possibly, but I don't think I've ever actually made it to 15. So I'm really excited, and also considering the fact that for months I hadn't really been reading and now I'm at like that number. It's really good, and I finally caught up on all those months where I did not read. So it was great. I completed a lot of books that I had started, and then I started and completed others, and it was good. It was good. So can't wait to get into this list with you guys. And also, if you guys are wondering about my wonderful thumbnail for this video, my dear cousin wanted to be included in my video, and I figure, let's, just get this glorious picture and just make it the thumbnail. I mean, why not? I'm doing this for you, buddy. So I want to start off with the books that I completed this month that I had already started. And I'd like to start off with these two because I was actually reading them for school, and I brought this up in my last video where I got behind, so I started reading the Spark Notes. And because I didn't feel right with me to not have completed these books, I was very determined, and I was like, you know what, I need to finish them, so I did. And it was the second and the third Lord of the Rings books, The Two Towers and The Return of the King. I gave them both a 3 out of 5 stars because while I do appreciate J.R.R. Tolkien, I just am not like super into those books. I was hoping to get into them because everyone was like, yeah, these are better than The Hobbit, because I had issues reading The Hobbit, and I read this and it just didn't work out. Just did not mesh, but it's okay. Still appreciate that man. He's a genius. He really is a genius. Anyway, so the next book that I completed this month was a book that I've read before, and if we count all the times where I probably listened to the audiobook and clips of the audiobook, it probably would add up to at least well over 2 times, but anyway, I completed Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I obviously gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because it's classic, it's beautiful, it's amazing. If you don't know what it's about this girl named Elizabeth Bennet, and she meets this man named Mr. Darcy, who she does not like at all. She finds him to be incredibly prideful, and the book just kind of goes off of, her and him and the relationship between her sister and Mr. Bingley and just all this stuff. And it's really good. It's a really great book, and if you haven't read this yet, please do. It is amazing. It is really good. And then the next book I completed this month was a book I had started reading in February and didn't complete, The Boy in the Black Suit. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So it is about a boy who starts to work at a funeral home after his mom passes away, and it helps him kind of cope with everything going on in his life. And he meets a girl, and they develop feelings for each other. It's adorable. Anyway, the thing that kept me from giving this book a 5 out of 5 stars was the fact that the book I felt insanely fast-paced, but at the same time incredibly slow, which was really weird. And I think I brought this up with the prior book where it felt like it kind of dragged on, even though it wasn't exactly an incredibly long book. And for that book, it was a good thing. But with this book, it was just it was rushed, but at the same time, it took forever, and it was iffy. I felt like the author could have built up the shocking plot twist that he had brought on, and could have properly planned out the relationship between the main character and the one girl, because it just it all felt rushed. And I really wish he would have took his time a little bit, because while I was kind of anxious to complete the book, I also would have liked it to have been built up better than what it was. But anywho, so now I'm getting into all the books that I started and completed this month. So I completed this month actually an entire book series. It was one that I had read back in middle school, and I really loved it, and I thought I would give it another read. I also filmed a review video for these books, and it will be coming to you guys later this week, and it was the Shadow Falls book series. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I gave every single book in the series a 4 out of 5 stars. It's about this girl named Kylie who gets sent off to a school that her mom believes is for troubled teens. In reality, it's for the supernatural, and Kylie finds out that she is supernatural, but she doesn't necessarily know what she is. She doesn't know if she's a shapeshifter, a werewolf, vampire, witch, or fairy. And so she's kind of spending that entire book series trying to figure out what she is and, you know, how to deal with her other abilities because she can also communicate with the dead. And it's crazy. So it was a really good book series and I do recommend it. So the next book is My Sister's Keeper. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl who basically was born specifically to help save her sister's life. She has, I believe, leukemia, if I remember correctly, and she basically spends her whole life in a hospital donating stuff for her sister to help her out, and one day she decides she's had enough, and she decides to sue her parents for the rights to her own body, so she doesn't have to give up her kidney. I really enjoyed the book. I had seen the movie before reading this, and seeing the difference between the book and the movie was really cool. I do like how the book was pretty different from the movie. I mean, I do think the ending was kind of a little bit far-fetched, but at the same time, it was shocking, and it left you shook, so the author did a good job there. And I did really enjoy it. It was a great book, and I really do recommend it. The next book that I read was The Song Reader. This is about a girl named Leanne and her older sister Mary Beth. Mary Beth likes to help people out with their lives by listening to the music that they listen to. Basically, she tells them based on a song or a lyric that is stuck in their head, basically what's going on with their life, what is wrong, and tries to help them. One day she ends up making a mistake, and it results in this big, messy thing, and so basically everyone just kind of turns against her sister, and her sister just kind of shuts off, and so Leanne has to like step up and help her sister out and, you know, be the adult in the situation, even though, you know, because her sister is unable. And it was a really good book. It did have its flawed issues. There was just a lot about it. I think that the ending could have been better, just because it was kind of rushed and it didn't give me a more satisfying ending than what I wanted. I would have just really loved I would have loved a better ending than that. And I do think that Mary Beth was very much like I get that she had her issues, but, you know, there was just certain things, it was a big thing. And if you read the book, you'll understand, and I do recommend the book. It's just, you will get angry. I'm not gonna lie to you. You will get so angry and frustrated, but it's great. It's great. I promise. I gave the book a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was The Virgin's Suicides. So the book is about the story of the Lisbon sisters, and throughout the whole entire book you're getting these guys, basically they've interviewed all these people and they're trying to piece together why these girls that they grew up with committed suicide. And it's a really interesting book. I do highly recommend it. I do that with a lot of the books in this video, but I had a really good reading month, and usually I do have some issues with a lot of the books. I did have obviously some issues with the Lord of the Rings books, but for the most part the books this month were actually pretty spot on, and they were really good, and I'm really pleased. So I do highly recommend this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and it's really amazing. And I also enjoyed the fact, because this is another book that I kind of watched the movie before reading, and I liked how the ending, and well, not really the ending, but like there were certain details that were different between the book and the movie, and I feel like the book was far better because it gave you more of an explanation and another possibility as to why these girls killed themselves. The next book that I read was When, and it is about this girl who actually knows the exact day you are going to die. She doesn't know how, she doesn't know what time of the day, but she knows on that day you will die. And she's been able to see these numbers above people's heads her whole life, and it just tells her when everyone's gonna die. And one day, whenever she's trying to tell this woman that one of her kids is about to die, this woman just doesn't believe her, and then it results in the kid, basically he gets murdered on the day she said he would be. And then the police start to investigate her because the boy was murdered, and they believe that she had something to do with it, and basically do not believe that she can see the day that everyone dies. And the book, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was not expecting it to be that good. I remember starting it a few years ago when I first bought it, and I thought it was going to be kind of, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, because because of the first couple pages. But I started reading it and I completed the whole book in one day because it was just so fabulous. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I really do highly recommend it. It is perfect. It is an amazing book, and you guys need to read it. The next book that I read was a book that it's a kid's book. It's a kid's book. I read it because it was small and I was trying to like get through a book quickly, and it had been on my shelf for years. It used to belong to my cousin and she gave it to me, and I thought I would read it. So in advance, just so you guys know, I only gave it a 3 out of 5 stars because it was a kid's book and it was, yeah. Anyway, the book is The Frog Princess, and it's about this girl who, you know, kisses a frog to help him become a prince again, but it just doesn't work out, and instead she turns into a frog, and then they go on a quest to find the witch who turned him into a frog to get this curse reversed. And it was a cute story, and I'm sure if I would have read it when I was younger, I would have enjoyed it. Oh, but you know, I'm 18, so yeah. Didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, it was a quick read, it was semi-entertaining, but you could tell it was a kid's book, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not pleased. Yeah. It's not a book that I'm really into, and I think I have the sequel, because this is a giant series, and I know for a fact I have the next book, and I probably will end up reading it at some point this year, just because I want to read the books that I have on my shelf, and not just have like a bunch of books that are sitting there that I haven't read. I want to complete them, so we shall see. And it probably will have the same rating, I feel like. Anyway, and then the last book that I read this month is called Finding Paris, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah. It's about this girl who has to go hunt for her sister Paris after she kind of ditches her and leads her on this big long scavenger hunt to try to find her. So yeah, while it was a very interesting story, it was really fast paced, which was an issue with the earlier book I mentioned, but it was just too fast paced, and the fact that this girl was basically trusting this complete and utter stranger to go with her and help her locate her sister, and you know how basically she's just going all over the place, and it was annoying. I mean, I did like the twist at the end, and I do like how it ended, and the fact that this girl would just trust a complete and utter stranger just gets on my nerves. It really does. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also check me out on all my social media. I'll be linking it all down below. I'll be getting you guys my review on the Shadow Falls books as well really soon, so just stay tuned for that. And I do have a couple of other videos planned, so I can't wait to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.